Okay, we're back. Yeah, I don't know what was up with that. I think it looked like it was still trying to use the laptop camera, but the webcam was blocking it. I'm not really sure. See, we try to make it better, and it just turns out worse. So hopefully, everyone will figure out that we're in this new spot, and I will try to figure out what is wrong with that. Yeah, Dave. Hey, man, tech support. It was blocking. This is the thing. The actual webcam was physically blocking the laptop cam. It was still trying to use the laptop cam. So I don't know why it's not recognizing it, but I'll figure that out later. So this is the laptop cam that looks so good. Well, I'm glad it's important. I just have to test it. So I know it worked with the other program. It just, I don't know. I don't know what YouTube thinks we're doing, but something else. Oh, 5 to 6 hours. That's great. Thank you so much. All right. Aren't you supposed to be on a call right now? Go on a call. Yeah. So someday I'll have everything figured out and I'll actually know how these things work and we'll have no surprises, maybe. Well, that's not true. We'll always have some surprises, but hopefully they'll be not technical ones. They'll just be different things that happen. So we're going to wait again. We'll wait till about 5 minutes to see who shows up. And hi, Sue. How are you doing? So you can breathe, just sit and breathe till we get started. Or if you have any questions, um, you can type something. I realize I'm still getting notifications. Hi, Kathleen, for my old classes on my phone, and I haven't deleted them out of my calendar yet. But I guess I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll just put them back in when we get going again. But I get reminders every morning, and I'm like, oh yeah, oh, I think it's time to just take them out and put this in. I'll put this in as a reminder because I'm probably not going to forget, but it's good to have a reminder anyway. And you may have to physically set a reminder if you want to for this class. I'm not exactly sure. Again, because I get one view of this channel and you get another view. So it looks to me like you have to physically set a reminder. Hi, Anita. You're welcome. This is great. Yeah, it's fun for everybody and something, different, something to do. And we're doing it, I'll have it every day. Certainly, if you can make it every day, that's great. If you can't, that's great too. But I want to make sure that I was teaching every day before now, except Sundays. And different groups of people. Some people came Tuesday, Thursday. Some people came to Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. So I want to have something for everybody. If you're working during these times, and you can do the recordings. I may do an evening class, possibly. We'll see how that goes if people want to do it. Hi, Rachel. So yeah, let me know if there's interest in an evening class. I could do that, but we'll see. Where I have stuff going on, but my schedule, as yours probably is also pretty open. All right, so we're about a little past 5 past. So let's get started. Sitting and breathing. So just finding a comfortable seat, wherever that is. You want to have a nice relaxed feeling in the body. Make sure you're not slouching forward, giving a lot of room for the lungs to expand with the breath. And then I'm going to bring hands to center, setting that intention again for today. If you know anyone who's ill or doing poorly right now, it's a great thing to send some healing energy their way. I'm going to teach you a little mantra, which is maybe something we're going to do. So mantras are little sayings or mottos. I mean, we've kind of overused that word in our culture now. Everybody has a personal mantra, or this business philosophy is our mantra, and that's not at all what it's about. But we use it to mean something else. But mantra is a very powerful um, possibility. I mean, it's almost um, it's a prayer. I mean, it's a prayer, but typically it's in Sanskrit, which is a very old language with a lot of um, the sounds in Sanskrit are just as important as the words. So the sounds that make up the words are um, important. So it's not even so much what you're saying; it's the actual act of saying it, the sensation and the vibration of the sound. So this is not, it's going to not sound like a simple one, but it's a pretty simple one. It's 4 words. It's, well, they're more than words, but it's 4 little chunks. And it basically means, if you see, I have a little picture, a little in my studio that says, may all beings be well and free from, you know, different bondages, and it's just a blessing for the world. Let everyone be well, let everyone be healthy and free and happy, and all of these things. And I'll give you a more clear and precise definition of that. That's kind of vague, but it's a very kind of, it's a non-denominational, there's nothing particularly religious about it. It's just a blessing to the world. So the first thing is loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Okay, 4 things. I'm going to do it again. If you want to say it after me, I'm going to leave a little bit of space. You can. You don't have to. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. And typically, if you hear mantra notes, so a lot of the music that I play in the studio is mantra, but it's set to different music, right? Sometimes it's like one of those things where there isn't any one tune. Like it's not it is sort of sung, but there's no specific tune. And it reminds me, I'm going to tell you a short story. When I was an exchange student in India, when I was right out of high school, one of my real highlights was spending Christmas Eve in a church, Christian church, that my host family had arranged for me. They were not Christian, they were Hindu, but they thought I would like to go to a church. And I was not very religious or really very interested in that. So I was kind of like, okay, sure, that's great. But they were very excited about it. So I was like, yeah, okay, it's great, let's do it. And when we went, the strangest sensation was hearing people singing Christmas carols to a completely different tune. Like they had their own music that was nothing to do with our music, but all of the words were the same. So it's that same idea that you may hear a mantra in a music that someone has put out, some sort of track or part of another song, and you won't recognize it at all. Even though the words are there, the sound is the same. So this is a very long explanation. So I am going to sort of sing this, but I'm going to do it slowly. And again, there'll be space in between if you want to do after the words so you can learn it, but you don't have to. So deep breath in. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Two more times. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Okay, I'm going to move back for the warm-up. So we're seated again, comfortably, however you want. Head hangs down, and then moving the head around. Make your big circle. One way and the other. And back to center. Take a breath. Lean forward and move around. One way and then the other. And back up to your seat, arms wide. Deep breath in. And then on the exhale, hands together. Inhale wide. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers. Arms overhead. We're gazing up. And then hands down by your side. Inhale, lift. And lower. Lift. Lower. Once more, lifting up. And then we're going to bring left hand down, reach across with the right. Back up. Switch. And back to your seat. Lift the shoulders, roll back. And roll forward. Let's walk the hands out in front a little ways. And back up. And then hands behind, fingers pointing away from the body. And then just leaning back a little, gaze up. And back up to your seat. Tabletop. Sitting back on the heels. Child's pose. Arms can extend out in front. And back up. Couple sets of cat-cow. Lowering down as you lift the head. And exhaling, we're drawing the belly in. Press down with the hands. Lift up the spine. Moving with the breath, inhaling and exhaling. And then just back to tabletop. Sit back again. Child's pose. And back up. Tabletop to downward dog. And maybe walk it out a little. See how everything is feeling today. Step your feet up to the hands. And we can be in our fold for a few breaths. So you can do whatever you want. You could be still here. You could move around if you want. Kind of bicycle out the legs a little. Leave the heels on the mat. You could try lifting the heels up also, but it feels pretty good to just leave the heels down. And then we'll start rising up. Coming to stand tall in your mountain. Breath in and out. Inhale, arms lift, high overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back with the right. Drop your knee, lift the arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Stepping back to downward dog or coming tabletop to downward dog. Either way, we're here in downward dog. On an inhale, we're moving forward, high plank. Hold here for a breath. And then lower down. Inhale, we're just lifting up head and chest. And lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. One more, lifting up head and chest. And lower down. Moving back up. Tabletop to downward dog. One more breath here. And then we're going to step the right foot up by the hands. Left knee drops down. Arms overhead. And then hands back to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the arms high. And back to mountain. Take a breath in and out. Inhale, lift up the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. On the exhale, left foot steps back. Drop the knee. Arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Stepping back or moving back. Downward dog. On an inhale, come forward. High plank. and lower down. Inhale, lift up halfway and lower. Inhale, lift and lower. Last one, either lifting up halfway, or if you want to come all the way up, upward dog. Moving back, downward dog. And breathe. If you ever need to kind of adjust where you are in downward dog, that's fine. Sometimes we don't end up exactly where we expect. Take one more breath. And then we're stepping up with the left foot. Right knee drops down, arms overhead. And hands down to the mat. Step up the back foot and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then lift. Arms overhead and back to mountain. Take a breath. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. On the exhale, we're stepping back with the left foot. Press down with both feet. Arms up overhead. Warrior one. And we're going to bring hands down to the mat. Surround that front foot. And then we're going to work on straightening the right leg. So you might be able to get it pretty straight. You might not. That's okay. Wherever you are. If you're not all the way down on the mat, you might be up here. That's okay. Right? We're just trying to work on straightening and stretching through that right leg. So wherever you are, you might be here. If you can bring the hands back so you're drawing the head down toward the leg, that's great. If you're up here, again, we're just working on getting that stretch. So lots of different ways to do it. Just want to feel, right, the stretch through that right leg. And then we're going to bend into the right knee again, step the back foot up, and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift arms high. Back to mountain. Take a breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, right foot steps back. Press down with both feet. Lifting up. Warrior one. Hands down to the mat. Folding over that left leg. So whatever you did on one side, we'll do on the other. Right? If you find you've got a lot of flexibility difference one side to the other, we always want to work to the lesser side, right? So we can eventually get that side to meet the other side. So maybe you're here, maybe you're down here. I don't know. Pyramid pose, this is. And then we'll bend into the left knee again, step the back foot up, and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Lifting arms on the inhale, back to mountain. Take a breath. And let's do a few balance poses. So, we're going to lift up the right knee, standing on the left foot. Nice and strong. If you feel steady here, right hand on the knee, left hand on your hip, let's rotate that knee out to the side. Right? And if you touch down or have to adjust, that's fine. If there's a wall that you can touch, that may help. Sometimes just to get yourself steadied, right? And then you can, then you might let go or just let up a little bit. Come on back to center. We'll switch sides. So now we've got the left leg lifted, standing here, standing on that right leg, shoulders back, steady gaze. And then if you want, rotating the leg out, setting your gaze. And then rest it down. Bicycle legs. So we'll do another sort of leg lifting thing here. Hands at the waist. Let's bring the elbows back as much as you can. Right? So you may want to shift the hands. Instead of being right here, they're further back. Take a breath in and out. Then on the next inhale, we're lifting up the right leg. And set it down. Switch. I'm having trouble with this side. So keep holding it up if you can. And then just bring it down. Bicycle the legs. And then let's come into chair pose. So we got feet close together, knees and thighs press. Bend the knees, lift the arms. Hands to center. And then we're lifting up the heels. So you're balancing on that front part of the feet. Maybe you lift higher. Trying to keep the heels and the ankles pressed close together. And then come on back up and lower down. So I told you before, right? This is what I do standing in grocery lines. or standing in line anywhere, anytime, waiting for something. Just lift up. The stronger and more flexible you can get the feet, the better, right? We're walking around in shoes all the time, giving our feet chance to move, chance to be flexible. And it's a problem for your whole body, but it's especially a problem for balance, right? Our feet are like our hands. If you think how sensitive your hands are and how you can make adjustments with your hands, you should be able to do that with your feet too, right? We don't, but we could. Or at least we could do a little more than we're doing now. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. On the exhale, step back to downward dog. Inhale, come on forward, high plank, and then just lower down. So we're resting on the mat. Head can turn to the right. You bring the arms by your side. And just relax for a few breaths. Head back to center, lifting up. Head and chest, we're going to lift the arms, lift the legs. Lower down. Head turns to the left and relax. And then bringing head back to center. Let's bring the arms out in front. We can rest one hand on top of the other. Set your forehead down. Legs a little wider on the mat. So you can either turn the toes in or turn the toes out. Either way. Most people have one or the other that they like better, that feels better. If neither work for you, then that's fine. Do something else. We're just kind of relaxing and breathing. And then we're going to start making our way back up. Tabletop, child's pose. Then tabletop, downward dog. Walk your feet up. And come on down to a seat on the mat. So we're here, soles of the feet together, sitting up tall, breath in, and then fold forward. So remember, we're bringing the chest forward, shoulders are back. You may not feel like you're coming down that far, right? And our tendency, we want to try to round, and we're like, oh, well, maybe we're going to come further. You may feel like you're coming further, right? And your head might be coming further, but you're not actually stretching through here anymore. So this is a more beneficial way of doing it, even though our mind is like, oh, it doesn't feel like I'm doing that much. It's better. It works better. Come on back up. Let's lift the knees, and we're going to catch a hold of the toes. So, yogi toe lock. First two fingers to the inside of the big toe, and then wrap the thumb around, okay? That's a nice and secure way to get a hold of the toe. If you will have sensitive big toes, or you just don't like how this feels, just grab the foot, or, the ankle even. That's fine, however you want to do it. But we're leaning back a little, so we're balanced. You might stay right here. If you feel like you want to do more, we extend. Maybe halfway, maybe more. Keeping that balance. Keep breathing. And then set the heels down. Both legs out in front. Breath in, arms overhead, and then fold forward. Exhaling as you go. Coming back up. Let's bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Right arm behind you. Sit up tall, take a breath, and then turning from the shoulder, taking a twist. Back to center and switch sides. So got the right hand outside the left knee, left hand behind you, sit up tall and twist. And back to your center. Bend the right knee. So we're going to bring the right foot either inside of the thigh, up on top of the thigh, either one. Just depends how the knee and the hip is doing today, right? This might be too much, so come on down here. Sitting up tall, deep breath in, and then we're leaning forward, reaching that left hand out for the foot or the leg, whatever you can reach, and folding forward. Come on back up. Switch. Sitting up tall and folding forward. And then back up. Both legs out in front for a fold. Deep breath in, fold forward. And then come on back up. I'm going to turn to face you because this one that we do is kind of hard to see sometimes if you're not sure what I'm doing. So this is that cow face pose that we've talked about before. It's kind of a funny name. But we're going to start with the left leg. So we're going to bring that so the knee is out in front and the foot is back by your hip as much as you can. Okay? This top leg comes across. So you're trying to have the knees right on top of each other as much as possible. Right? Depending on how flexible this is or how much leg you have, it may or may not work. So if you're out here, that's fine. If you are up here, whatever you're doing is fine. What you want to feel is some stretch through this outer part of the leg and the hip. As long as you're feeling that, you're in a good position. But we're going to try here, hands, one hand on either foot. Take a breath in, and then we're folding forward. And depending on where your leg is, it may not be much of a fold at all, and that's fine. But we're just adding a little to that intensity through the leg. Maybe you don't need to go forward. Maybe it feels pretty intense already. That's fine. You do what works for you. And back up. Then we do the same thing other side. So now right leg comes in first. That knee is pointing out. Left leg is coming on top. Right? You may notice some real differences in how you can or cannot get into this pose from one side to the other. Take your breath in and fold. And back up. We'll extend the legs out in front again. Arms overhead, breath in, fold forward. Make your way back up. We're going to bend the knees, soles of the feet to the mat. Make sure you've got some room behind you. We're going to lower down or rock back. Resting on your back. And just take a little bit here to relax. These transitions, we always want to take a little time. Make sure that your hips, your shoulders, everything feels like it's in a good position before we start moving again. Then bending the knees, soles of the feet to the mat, we're going to bring the right ankle up on top of the left knee. So you might feel like this is a lot already in the hip. If that's the case, you can stay right here. You might push that right knee away from the body. So if you're here, right, maybe this is really tight and your knee is way up here, you might just push a little, right? We usually have a little extra in there. If you don't do it, right? If it feels like it's at the breaking point, just stay there. You're fine. Don't go any more. But if you have a little room, take it. If you can, come all the way in with that left leg. We'll interlace the hands behind it, draw it closer. You can always extend the leg, just a little more stretch, a little more intensity. And then rest it back down. And let's work on the other side. So again, whatever place you're in, that's where you are. And that's all good. So you may have some real challenges to flexibility. Or it may be just on a day-to-day basis. On any given day, you may or may not be able to do something. That's fine. Honor that. Be aware of that. And then set both feet back down. Getting ready for bridge. We've got heels, walking back close to the body, feet about hip width apart, hands by the side, palms rest on the mat. Press down, hands and feet, lifting up. Interlace the fingers if you want. We're drawing the shoulders under. And breathe. And then release the hands. We're going to rest back down. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. If you want to bring the hands up over the head, you can. Just finding a place that feels comfortable for your breathing here. And then bringing the knees back together. We're going to bring the right ankle up on top of the left knee again. And then hands out to a T or goalpost arms. We're going to start lowering that left knee down so that the right foot is moving towards the floor. So you keep that ankle stuck onto the knee. Gazing right, taking a twist. And that foot might make it to the floor, it might not. Doesn't really matter. Just a different way to twist. Then coming back up, switch your feet. And then the right knee lowers, gazing left. And then back up. Hug the knees in. Extend the legs. Straight up into the air. Soles of the feet press up toward the sky. And then, however you want to get there, lowering down to the mat. And settling in to a comfortable place for Shavasana. Keep your breath moving in the body. Notice all of the places where the mat comes into contact with the body. Feel that support. Let your body sink down into that support. Keeping our focus right here. If you find your mind wandering, come back to the physical sensations in the body. Bring your awareness to this space. So this habit of mindfulness is so important. Right? It is invaluable, especially in times when things seem a little out of control. Right? Our tendency is to jump ahead. Right? What's next? What's coming? What can we anticipate or prepare for? And that's not a bad impulse, right? It is good to use your head and try to kind of read the winds. But it can become a very exhausting habit. We need to know when, enough is enough on that. And we don't want to live in this kind of like constant state of unease and concern. And our tool for that is this practice of mindfulness, of being where we are right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not even an hour from now, but keeping our focus and our awareness to this space, this breath, the sounds in the room, the sensations in the body. Our senses are really helpful to keep us here. Right? They are constantly processing what's happening now. So keying into those, getting back into that focus will also keep us here, right? So that's why, you see people Like people are getting hysterical and people are losing their mind. In old movies, they'd come over and slap him in the face, and snap out of it, right? I mean, they don't do that anymore because that wouldn't be correct. But they're not wrong. That physical sensation will get you in the body. People will pinch themselves. I can't believe it. Oh my God, pinch myself. Well, again, you're trying to get a physical sensation to snap you out of what's going on in here. There are some very, damaging ways that people use that, but there are some very positive ways too. So find some things that work for you. It could be scent. Scent is a very powerful motivator for people. So, maybe there's a scent that you can wear that would remind you to be in the body, catching that scent. It makes you think of your body, makes you think of your space here. Sensation, of course, getting back into what's happening with the body. So use those tools when you need them. Stay here. And it can be hard, right? I mean, in normal times, I would say the temptation is to wander off in your mind because it's boring, right? It's boring to just be here with nothing happening. In these times, boring's not so bad. Right? It's good to have nothing happening. That's what I like to hear. Nothing to report. Everything's just going on as normal. But the temptation is to get caught up in the other things, to read too much online, to feel too much about what's going on. You need to dial that back. We all do. It's good to feel and to be aware of what's going on, but we cannot let that pull us down. You have to set your limit for that, and everyone's limit's going to be different. You'll know when you've had too much, and then set it down and do something else. Go outside, breathe the air, get in your body, do some exercise, do some yoga, do some meditation. Something to kind of recharge those batteries, to get you the energy back that you need to keep going, that we all do. So I try to remember, I mean, it's true for everything, but in these times especially, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. We're not going to get through all of this quickly. We need to pace ourselves. And we all have to figure out how we're going to make that work. Yoga is a tool, just like every other tool that we have, and we can use it to help us get through everything. So when you're ready, moving again, fingers and toes, hands and feet. If you feel like stretching to get moving again, that's good. And then we're going to move side to side. Come on over onto the right side. Take a breath or two. And when you're ready, moving up to a seat. Let's bring hands together. Thank you for coming this morning, taking some time out of your day for yoga, and for sharing it with all of us here. I hope that you have a really good day. Namaste. Thank you all. was nice to have people for class. So I am going to get my webcam sorted out. I don't know. I'm hoping it'll be a little better than this. This isn't bad, it would be nice if I could frame it a little better or do whatever. But we're making do with what we have. You can't use your phone. I'd like to be able to use my phone, but you can't use it on YouTube unless you have like 1,000 subscribers or something. And I don't think we're going to be having 1,000 subscribers. So, so our hardware options are limited. Also, the fact that it is almost impossible to get webcams anymore. Webcams are like electronic toilet paper, apparently. So if you have one, keep hold of it because everyone wants one. I'm going to see who came in. Oh, hi, Judy. Oh, hi, Barbara. Oh, and Subira, hi. So it's very nice. I don't know. So a bunch of the people here are from the county class. I don't know when they're going to open up again. I haven't heard anything in particular. I know we're closed till at least the 15th. I would be surprised if they opened up anytime soon, though. And if they do, and when they do, there are going to have to be some, changes, and we know that about how they run the class spacing and whatnot. So I will let you know as I know, and we'll just see what happens. Okay, any questions or anything before I go? No? All right, well then I'm going to end the stream. I will see you again tomorrow. I'll be here if you are. Have a good day, guys.